I ain't have to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. Then we seen the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high was the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't have to die to meet the devil.
I remember I was only 13 when I met the demon. Gave me a deuce and a bundle of cocaine. Told me to sell to my people, make sure you keep them fiending. If any try to shoot you, make sure that you leave him leaking. He said,
I'ma hold you down when problems pop up.
how you got me moving this dope? Want me in lockup? He said,
Don't you want the Benz vertible with the top cut?
Yeah.
Stop bitching, get in that kitchen, let it rock up. Bitches love the dope boy, especially when it's clock up. I know you know Ron.
who the plug from by the block up?
I'll tell you a little secret, make sure that you keep your mouth shut. Ron got a Lexus, crib in Philly and Texas. Trip to the Bahamas, just got a whip for his mama. He fucking up in commas, be honest, he's seeing decent dope.
I hear you, but I just seen Ron about a week ago. In fact, he ain't looking too good. His knees is kinda slow. I asked him why the struggle, he got stuck up for his bundle. But them 6 hollow tips in his legs what made him crumble.
At least he got the house and mama is living good.
Said the feds took it all, he right back in the hood. I see you try to play me, you gave us crack in the 80s. Made us abort our babies and making hoes out our ladies. I know you got me gravy, but Satan, you must be crazy. It's gonna take more than them cars when to amaze me. I seen niggas shoot for the stars, but being lazy. Never get their head at the clouds, so you don't faze me.
I guarantee that you gon' regret it, remember I said it.
Nah, you could dead it.
What you saying, I can't win?
Nah, devil, nice try, so until we meet again.
I ain't have to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. Then we seen the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high was the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't have to die to meet the devil. I ain't religious or superstitious, but we've been getting fucked and put to the side like a mistress. Police controlling why? Because prison became a business. They murder one of ours and they start talking about forgiveness. We think that it's alright because we got public assistance. If this ain't hell, dog, what is this? Where was all lives mattered when they killed Osama? There was no peace talk like the Dalai Lama. Bush dropping bombs saying he gon' bring the drama. They got justice, man, they even caught the Boston bomber. But when we riot, they send the military in armor. When we fight oppression, then our people die a martyr. You reap what you sow, some people call it karma. When Christ return, y'all gon' get this harvest like a farmer. Don't tell me don't bring up the past no more. They still trying to settle the score with a side of Shakur. I changed my life and I'm just trying to live life right. But at night I look behind me and see flashing lights, patting me down. You got nothing that's poking me right. I don't smoke or push pills, I gave up my vice. So Mr. Officer, why you wanna take my life? And your honor, why you gave our homeboys life? I've been wondering why you shot our homeboy twice. Pussy with a gun screaming out that he got a knife. He came from Habibi's spot, it was chicken and rice. Shit's trife, I'm just giving visuals like Skype. Ask Trayvon, Mike Brown, a Kai Gurley, Eric Garner, Sean Bell, Philando, Alton, Sterling, Jaquan McDonald. The white man is so devilish. Ask Hammurabi, he'll tell you who the devil is. The white man is so devilish. Ask Hammurabi, he'll tell you who the devil is. I ain't have to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. Then we seen the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high was the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't have to die to meet the devil. I ain't have to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. Then we seen the rise of the devil. I pray for the demise of the devil. Lord knows I despise every devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil and said, I pray you die, every devil.
Testing, 1 2 1 2. Shalakia. Bear with me, just want to make sure everything's Tawab on the live. Okay. I think we're good to go. Yep. Most High in Christ. Clap it up. Hey. Shalom. Yahweh Hashem. Yahweh Shah Baraka Thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shamar Alatha Bahashim Yahweh Slakia. Yahweh Shamar Alathun Bahashim Yahweh Shah to all the sisters. This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, right? Under the leadership of Commanding General Yahana, right? Been in operation since 1969, teaching the truth according to the Bible, right? That blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true Jews, you understand? And that the oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of, you understand? This, of course, is the Tuesday night Brotherhood class out here in Durham, North Carolina. Priest and Officer 500 Thabawan holding it down for my brother, Officer 500 Yaramak, who could not be here tonight. You know what I'm saying? But we still going, we're going to rock and roll as best as we know how. You know what I'm saying? Break down these scriptures, you know what I'm saying, and get a true understanding of this brotherhood according to the Bible. All right? So with that being said, of course, if anybody has any questions in the room of any kind, you can just go ahead and raise your hand. If I can answer it, that's what I'll do. If not, we'll write it down. You know what I'm saying? Bring it to the next priest to break it down for you in the next class, right? Or we, if necessary, we'll come back to it the following week and break it down for you next Tuesday. All right. Also, if you have any questions online, we're broadcasting from YouTube and Facebook currently. Shalaki, if you have any questions online, just of any kind, just go ahead and just type it into the chat. Same thing. If I can answer it, that's what I'll do. You know what I'm saying? If not, you know what I mean, we'll write it down and make sure we get that answer to you as soon as possible. All right. Everybody tawab though? God, Most High in Christ, man. Most High in Christ. Before we get into it, I always like to ask anything anybody want to bring out, anything anybody seen that was, or stories or what have you that was, you know what I mean, like kind of made you, stop in your tracks a little bit, or was in some way enlightening to you? Anything? No sweat. I got one. Who saw what happened with Whoopi Goldberg? Mm-hmm.
I don't watch the news, sir.
Me neither.
I don't watch TV.
God.
If it don't come through the Facebook feed, so
that's how I saw it. That's how I saw it, through the Facebook joint. You know what I mean? But you want to, as far as watching the news, I mean, I get you, because I don't really like watching the news. A lot of people these days don't do that. You know what I mean? But there's other outlets. You know what I mean? You want to be diligent, Slakia. Be diligent and vigilant, and you know what I mean, in pursuing understanding of what's going on in the world around us. Because why? Because we have to, as priests and prophets, we have to bring to our people the truth, but we have to remember that they live in their lives in this current world, and we have to, filter out, like, we gotta show it to them, show them the truth of this Bible. This book is thousands of years old. So, I mean, what are you in a Christian church? You taught that, they treat this like some kind of outdated, piece of fairy tale. You know what I mean? They treat this like what's the joint with the dude and the sword and what's his name? Camelot? King Arthur. Yeah, they treat these stories like it's King Arthur. Or something like the what's that? The Never Ending Story? Is that one of the movies? They treat it like that. Like a giant dog is gonna come swooping out of the sky and things like that. That's what they treat this Bible like. You might as well be that when you're in the Christian church, right? And then when you're in the Christian church, nothing about this book seems real. You hear about it, but it don't seem like these people actually walked around and were people. It just seems like, again, like a bunch of fairy tales, right? But in the Isupk, we know that that's nonsense. These were real people. This Bible is a history book. That's what this Bible is. It's a history book You understand? That shows the history and the culture, right? And the code of conduct for a particular group of people. That's what it is. It's not a play, you know what I mean? It's not a novel or none of that. You can't pick it up and just read, oh, I read, Christians, I read a chapter. I was reading the book of such and such today, and this came to me, and I was reading it, and it made me think it don't work like that, damn it. You know what I'm saying? You don't just read a little bit of it and say, oh, yeah, that's what I like, and that's what I think. No, that's not how the Bible works. Somebody read my mind. What's the scripture that tells you how to read the Bible?
Is here a little, there a little.
There you go. That's it. Right? The Bible says it's supposed to be read precept upon precept, precept upon precept. Here a little, there a little. Right? That's how the Bible is read. Okay? But going back to what I'm saying, Whoopi Goldberg, right? So now this is the funny part about it. Y'all do know that Whoopi Goldberg's birth name is not Whoopi Goldberg, correct? Uh-oh. First of all, ain't nobody naming a child Whoopi. Y'all know that her real name is like Carolyn, right? Let's look it up. Whoopi Goldberg is not her name, her birth name. It's something that she made up for her career. Let's see. There you go. Carolyn, don't that sound more right? Karen Salakia. Karen Elaine, what? Johnson? Karen Elaine Johnson? There you go. Karen Johnson. You learn something every day, right? Karen Johnson. She named herself Whoopi Goldberg. You know what I mean? The whoopee coming from whoopee cushion, because there was a time when people thought whoopee cushions were the funniest thing in the world. So she just slapped whoopee on the name Goldberg. Why? I'll tell you why. She slapped the name Goldberg on there so it would sound like what? Jewish. It would sound like a Jewish person. It wouldn't sound like, because what? Because Carolyn Elaine Johnson, maybe not now, but Karen Elaine Johnson didn't really sound. Remember, she was a comedian. So Karen coming to the stage, Karen Elaine Johnson is like, can't really do much with that. That's not star. You know what I mean? That don't sound like something. And when I go to these interviews, again, first of all, they're gonna know that I'm a woman. But when I go to these auditions, and I come up, oh, I'm Karen Elaine Johnson. They see my name, they're gonna know I'm a woman. I don't want them to treat me like a woman. I want them to just treat me like a comedian. So she changed her name to Whoopi Goldberg, because is that a woman? What the hell is that? Who knows, right? But that's the funny part about it. But what happened with this story, right? So apparently the other day, what show was she on? I know you know. The View, right? She's on The View, and she made a statement, something to the effect of that the Holocaust was not about race. She said the Holocaust was not about race because the Jews and the Germans, again, the so-called Jewish men, she said because they're both white people. And everybody is up in arms about it. Everybody's upset. Everybody's angry. And of course, she came back and apologized and said, I'm so sorry. I didn't know, so on and so forth. Right? Go ahead, Sadak. What you got?
Salakia, sir, but isn't the Jewish people and the Germans, aren't those two different races of people? Granted, they're Caucasian, but aren't they two different Caucasians?
They're different tribes.
Right.
But me and you are different tribes.
Mm-hmm.
Are we different race?
Okay.
Right. Somebody see you walking down the street, they say, what? That's a black man. They see me, they say, that's a black man. Right? I mean, and many don't get it twisted. A lot of our Hispanic brothers go through the same thing. You ever seen Sammy Sosa before he decided to, I don't know, reverse engineer his his complexion or start using the cake soap or whatever the hell it is he did, right? But there was a time when Sammy Sosa was black like me. You understand? Sammy Sosa, you know what I mean? A player I used to watch on the Yankees, Robinson Cano, a Dominican, right? Go look at some of these boxers, man. Go look at a boxer named Guillermo Rigondeaux. He's black, right? But he's from Panama, right? So a lot of times we would be associated the same way. They would see no difference between us, right? Because we are the same race. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are one race of people. Let me say that again clearly. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are one race of people. What race is that? We're all Israelites. We're the Israelites. Now, what Whoopi Goldberg said, to a degree, right, is true. You know why? Because she's right. She's right. The Jewish man and the German man, they're both white people. What would we say now? Give me that according to the Bible. Like, what would we say in the Bible to describe both of them? They're both what? Mm-hmm.
Edomites.
Esau. Damn right. That's it. They both Edomites. They're Esau. Do you understand? In other words, you could say they're both the oppressor that the goddamn Bible speaks of. Both of them. They're the same. So from that perspective, she's right when she said what she said, man. And they all up in arms and all angry about it. You understand? But they don't know that they don't understand this Bible. They don't understand they just in their feelings. They're in their feelings. It's just that simple. They the same. And the reason why Whoopi Goldberg said what she said, man, is because especially to someone like her, you know, an older black woman, and even she can understand it, and she's not even in the truth. How the hell are you going to say that they two different races of people? Do you know that Jewish people had to walk around with identity cards? Go look it up. During the Third Reich, right? Nazi Germany, 30s and early 40s, Jewish people had to walk around with the same way you walk around with an ID. They had to walk around with an identity card. And on the card, they would stamp the letter J so they would know what? This is a Jew. Right. Thank you. The Water Brothers. They were Jewish, but they were just, at the time, they would say Jew, but you're right. They were Jewish. Now, in Germany at that time, because they had what? They had records. They had census records and things like that can tell you, well, this person is Jewish. This person's father identified as a Jew, so on and so forth. So they would know who was who and what was what already. But that's why, go watch, whoever seen Inglourious Bastards, whoever seen that movie, right? Remember the girl who ran away from Hans, whatever the hell his name was, the dude that was trying to kill all of them. Her family got executed by him, and she was able to get away. Years later, he's sitting next to her at a table, talking to her right in her face, and doesn't know that she's a Jew. That would be like me sitting in front of a KKK member and being like, God damn, I hope you don't know I'm black. I hope. Shoot, man, I hope you, woo. No. No. That's why she said what she said. You understand? That's what she said, what she said. Those are two different sects or tribes of the same people. You understand? But where they're really getting up in arms is because Hitler he believed that they were different races. He believed that there was an Aryan race, right? He believed there was an Aryan race of superior Europeans, and that these Jewish people didn't fit the bill. And so that's why he ended up doing what he did, right? But at the end of the day, what she understands that is correct about is the fact that they are not a different race of people. They are the same. They're all oppressors. All right? Most High in Christ. Come on. Now, let's get off into this, man. I don't see no questions online. All right, so we're just gonna start rolling. Give me Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. Let's start with Zephaniah 2 and 1. This, of course, being the Brotherhood class, right, where we talk about and get an understanding of how we should conduct ourselves and how we should view one another. And we're going to talk about this all the way from a three-dimensional point of view. We're going to break down and get an understanding of why the Brotherhood is the way it is, man. I mean, I think right now Chicago got more murders than this had in like, what, a decade? Something like that. Let's see if we can get those numbers in just a minute after you read it. But if you look up right now in 2022, right, in 2021, I think Chicago broke a record for murders in terms of how the last record they broke, how long it's been since the last time they had that many murders.
Mm-hmm.
I know in New York, it's the same thing, right? Black people are killing each other more and more and more and more every day. It's not getting any better. It's getting worse. It's looking like the goddamn late 80s and early 90s again. You understand? DC breaking records for the murders in Southeast. Ooh, we.
Salakia, sir.
Please.
And it's the younger crowd. It's getting younger and younger at the end of the day. First you was like 20 and 30. Now you know 19 and 20s.
Right.
You're killing one another.
Damn right. Damn right. Absolutely. That's what's going on. So give me Zephaniah 2 and 1.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together.
Do what?
Gather yourselves together.
Man, oh man. Now you're not gonna right now. You tune into the Isupk and the Commanding General Yana, right? You're gonna get more information, as my Ottawa said, man. You're gonna get more information in just watching a few minutes of this broadcast and any other Isupk broadcast than you would get in an entire lifetime of going to the Christian church.
That's right.
You understand? I know people. We all do. We all know somebody or several people who've been in the church. I mean, from birth. Like all they remember is the church from when they were a baby.
Right.
And then you ask them something about this Bible and they don't have an effing clue. They don't know anything about the Bible. They don't even know that Christ is black. And that is like milk. That is regular. You understand? Knowing that Christ is black. They don't know that Christ is black. They don't even know that black is in the Bible, Sadat. Forget knowing who's black. They think there are no scriptures in the Bible that describe color. And you know how I know? You know how I know Sadat knows? Because we go to camp. And right. Because we talk to people in the world sometimes and we say, well, you know this is in the Bible. And they say, no, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
The Bible doesn't talk about color. Color is not in the Bible. We've heard it. They say it. And then we got to make that surprised, confused face. Because even though we was in the world at one time, now we know different.
Right.
And we know that in the Bible is color. You understand? So again, read it from the top.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1.
This is another one of those scriptures you didn't know was in the Bible. Go ahead.
Gather yourselves together.
Now, gather yourselves together. Right? Now that right there, you know, that can mean everybody, right?
Right.
That could be, I mean, your Chinese, Mr. Chen Ming Wang. It could be him. It could be, you know what I'm saying? It could be Karen.
Mr. Muhammad.
It could be him, right? It could be anybody. It could be Kim Jong-un himself. Mm-hmm. YouTube, I'm just using his name as an example. Kim, if you're watching this, no offense, right? You could be any of those people. But let's read on.
Cancer. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together.
Uh-huh.
O nation.
Oh, what?
O nation.
No, that says nations.
O nation.
No, that says nations with an S. I think you're forgetting the S where it talks about all the people on earth.
N-A-T-I-O-N.
Oh, so O nation, one nation, right?
Okay.
Which means what? Give me another word for nation.
Salaki.
Please.
People,
that's a good one, right? Give me another one. Give me another one that's kind of going to hit home more. You're right, but give me one that hits home more for people to where
tribe.
It's like, No. Going back to what we said before, something that they'll be surprised that the Bible is even mentioned in this. People talk about it every day, all the time in America, but they don't realize that the Bible actually deals with this topic quite a bit. Nation, people. We just talked about it. Anybody? No sweat. I don't want to give it to you. Give me another. Think about, okay. The word nation doesn't scare people or ring bells when you say it. Nation.
Race.
Give them a hand. That's the word. Nation is just another way of saying race. A race of people. You understand? It's as simple as that. That's one way of saying a race of people. And we do the same thing today. Like we say, what? Chinese people. Who are we talking about when we say Chinese people?
Asians.
Right. Specifically the people who are descended from the people of China. Right? Oh, I'm Chinese. Oh, I'm Japanese. Right?
Right.
Now, I mean, shoot, you got black people who are born and raised in Japan. But if they were to walk up to somebody and you say, "Oh, what are you? What's your nationality?" Even if you ask them what's their nationality, and they say, "I'm Japanese," people are gonna look at them crazy. You understand? Because nation and race are tied together. You understand? So read it from the top.
Count out of one kind. That's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together. O nation not desired.
Now we're getting real specific. So now we're talking about a race of people that the Most High is talking to. And that race of people, what is the characteristic given to them that lets you know who they are in the scripture? Go ahead, Sadat.
They're not desired by their skin color.
They're not desired. Then they are the nation. Because remember, you said, Sadat, as you read it in the scriptures, the brother not reading. He not reading the SJV, right? He not reading the Sadat or the SV, the Sadat version of the Bible. He not reading the UPKV, the UPK version of the Bible. No, he's reading the King James Version Bible, the same one that your grandmother has in the goddamn house right now. It's sitting like this. I know because it's in my grandmother's goddamn house. And it's sitting like this on a big brown dresser. You understand? On a big dresser that weighs 200 tons. You have no idea how she got it in the house. And it's just sitting there like this. And it's been on the same page since 1982. It's the same book. It's the same one. That's what the brother's reading. And it didn't say nations. It said nation, one. So one race of people. So it says to this one race of people who are also the race who was what? Not desired.
Okay.
That makes it real plain for us, right, Sadat? Right? So it's like it
Okay.
makes it very easy to break this down. So all we got to do to understand who this is talking about is find the one race of people who are what? Not desired. Yes, Sadat.
Salakia, if I may, what we talking about just struck a chord with me. I was watching, of course, going through Facebook and whatnot, and I don't know if they were black basketball players or what they were, but they were getting off somewhere over in Asian.
They were basketball players.
I think so. Getting off in a bus in China or Japan or something like that. And all you heard them Chinese folks saying was nigga, nigga, nigga.
I saw that.
Get out of here, nigga.
Yep. I saw that. Right there. Give that brother a hand, man. Because that is an excellent example, man. You know what I'm saying? I could get it up on the screen, but I ain't gonna go through all that. You just look it up. Just look up American basketball players, man. And you can look up in China, and they were literally getting off of a bus. And they damn called them every single horrible thing. Oh, we got if we're gonna do it, let's
Just do it all the way, sir.
Come on, pause. There you go. The water. Mm-hmm. Bear with me.
I was like, wow. You got Asian hate bill.
Right. No, that's an excellent point, bro. No. You right.
But we go over there, and what do we get? Nigga, get the fuck out of here. Salakia. But that's what they were saying, though. I'm not making it up.
I think it was in China. Let's see. Yep. Uh-huh. Bear with me just a second.
And if I may make another point,
Please,
sir,
go ahead.
it's like, we being that nation not desired, and right now you have, the so-called white man, the oppressor, he wants to sit there and put himself in the play of saying that, he's oppressed, and things of that nature. And it's like, how are you oppressed when you are the oppressor?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't sit and say that you are a nation that's not desired or been undesirable when you were the ones marking people that were undesired. You were the one going to war with whoever you saw fit to go to war with.
That's right.
You're the one picking the president and having him saying this is a shithole country, and he's you know what I'm saying. Like, right. But you want to put yourself in the play of saying, oh, we're oppressed as well, and I think that's crazy. It is really, is this them trying to get sympathy when there is none there for them?
That's right.
Salakia.
No, you're absolutely right, bro. Let's look at this, man, and we're gonna show exactly what you just said, man. I want to make sure everybody online can see this as well. Bear with me just a second. Okay. All right, let's take a look at this. Now, this is this is basketball. This is recent. This is a couple months ago.
Concert.
Basketball players called the N-word getting off the bus, right? They're going to play a game. I think they had just beat a team, and the whole team ain't, mind you, the whole team ain't black.
Right.
It's not an all black team.
Right.
Right. They had black players on the team, and this is what happened.
Fuck you!
Imagine. Don't adjust your screen. This is real.
Fuck you!
Well, goddamn, I didn't know it was that serious. Right, now read that again from the top, Sadat.
Khan out of one Khan, sir. This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Sadat said a heavy point when he talked about you know what I'm saying, all these other nations, all these other races talking about they oppress, right? Then they just do the Stop Asian Hate bill,
right?
Like you said, They got the Stop Asian Hate bill passed with the quickness.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Top speed. Well, who's the nation that has this happen? I ain't never seen a bunch of black people waiting for Yao Ming to get off the bus and yelling some kind of racial epithet at him.
Right.
I've never seen it.
Right.
In fact, I remember clearly in New York. I remember clearly when I was still in New York before I moved in New York when Lynn Sanity was going on around, what was that, 2000, probably like 2011-ish, 2012-ish, somewhere in there. I remember when Lynn Sanity was going on, and black people loved Jeremy Lin. Black people in the city was like, yo, Jeremy Lin, he dropped out of the. Wasn't nobody waiting for Lynn Sanity to get off the bus and yell some kind of horrible racial remark or derogatory term at him. Guess it, Doc.
Salaki, if I may, you know what also is crazy though, sir? It's like, the oppressor's army will fight any nation and has fought these different nations and whatnot, and they don't yell those slurs at them. They were on the bus too, and black people have never fought a war that was blacks against China, blacks against Asians. They have never sat there and drug Asians for any reason. The oppressor has,
right,
but the oppressor's on that bus.
Give him a hand.
The oppressor is on that bus, and he is not getting,
right.
Get out of here, cracker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're not going against him. But a black man that ain't gonna do nothing, who at the end of the day has probably dealt with this all his life.
Right.
He got to deal with it from people that he has never had
in his life.
He's never had an argument.
Never had an argument in his life. Remember what was the famous quote, right? Remember Muhammad Ali said it. Muhammad Ali said it when they tried to draft him. What did he say? Now, mind you, this man don't got nothing to do with no Vietnamese, but what did he say? He said, I'm not gonna go to war and fight some Vietnamese when they never call me nigger. Are you sure, Muhammad? Well, if they wasn't calling you that back then, they damn sure learned. They done figured it out. He sped it up when he got off the bus. Like he wanted that, brother. They barely speak in English. But they speak it when your black ass come off the goddamn bus. Get out of China. Get out of China. Never mind. Not like you said, Sadak. Nothing about the oppressor that's on the bus who actually has gone to war. You understand? Against China and the Vietnamese and Japan and Korea. Never mind them. You nigga get out of China, even though all you do is dribble a basketball and dunk. That's all you do. But get out of China. Read it from the top, brother. This is heavy.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Now you look at this and tell me who the hell is not desired on the earth, man.
Right.
All the way, these brothers are from Detroit and Florida and California and the south side of Chicago, you understand, and Brooklyn and Virginia. And you mean to tell me that they go literally thousands of miles away where these ain't they ops. These cats ain't never did nothing to these people. But get out of China. Guess it, Doc.
What's crazy is how many black people do you know of that sit and say we're going to China?
Right.
Or go to China? How is there a plethora of African Americans, so-called African Americans visiting and going to China?
No.
And then the 1 second that a handful of them do, it's
to go play a effing game.
It's get out of China.
It's get out of China. Like you could have said anything. You could have said anything. I've been to an NBA game. You go to an NBA game and the player on the other team, what do you say? You suck. You trash. You can't shoot. You know what I mean? You if you really want to get nasty, you might say something about his mama. You might say something about his woman, but I ain't never seen nobody
Racial slur.
pull out a racial slur. You know what I mean? I ain't never seen, because you hate the Cowboys. You just gonna, I don't know, whatever white player on the team, you just gonna be like, oh, you damn white man. Like, that don't happen. You could have just been like, y'all are trash. Y'all suck. Boo. Something like that. But no, you had to.
一个，别他妈笑了，一个，fuck you。
It's almost like he Googled how to insult black people before this happened. You understand? This is being a nation that's not desired.
Right.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you're God's chosen people, man.
That's right.
And this is the proof. Don't take my word for it, as my man LeVar Burton used to say on Reading Rainbow. Don't have to take my word for it. Look what's happening when you go to any goddamn place on earth. You go to China, they say, nigga, get out of China. What the hell did I do? You go somewhere in Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, go to Israel. They're trying to kick your black ass out of there. There's nowhere on earth you can go with, and that's why people kill me when they say, oh, we got to get out of America. Where the hell are we going to go? Sadak.
So I know you've heard about whatever country or whatever that is over in Africa that's telling black folk to come back to Africa or whatever. Golly, Ghana, Guyana, one of them godforsaken fly doodle countries. Got a African American type of situation talking about come back there, but at the same time, you can't go to that's about the only place you gonna go to Africa, because anywhere else, use a nigga.
Use a nigga, a kata, right? That's what you are, a goddamn slave to them. That's what they look at you as, right? I mean, damn. Read it from the top one more time, brother. Ooh, wee, this is crazy.
Book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1.
These scriptures are alive, man.
Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation, not desire.
Now imagine that tomorrow some black man is going to murder another black man. It's probably happening right now as we speak. In fact, it might be happening across the street right now as we speak in the ghettos of Durham, where we currently are, across the street from the Cornwallis projects. It might be happening right now. Lord forbid, right? It's certainly happening somewhere in America. Somewhere in America right now, a black man is murdering another black man. He's murdering a Hispanic brother. A Hispanic brother is chopping up another Hispanic brother like Junior, like they did up in the Bronx. You understand? A Native Indian brother is murdering a Native Indian sister. It's happening as we speak. You understand? Meanwhile, let any of us go to China and we're going to get told, get out of China.
Right.
The oppressor don't got that problem.
Right.
The so-called Chinese, they don't have that problem.
Right.
Nobody, they don't come over here and hit. Who tells them to get out? I'm like I said, this is crazy to me because I grew up. I went to school with them. I went to school with the Chinese. I went to school with Koreans, all of them. You know what I'm saying? In my borough, they was all up in there, looking at me when I go to Main Street in Flushing. They look at me like I'm crazy. So Doc, like, what is this thing? Like, and I'm just like, yo, I've had that happen in my own building. In my own building, where somebody would move in a year ago and be shocked because I done moved down south and came back, go home, and they see me in the building like, who the hell is this? What is he doing? Right. And in my head, I'm like, my grandmother been living in this building since the 70s. What the hell is wrong with you? Mm-hmm. But we that people that's not desired, man. Right. Finish that out, brother.
Con on the one con. Go to the next verse. Or read it again. Con. Book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 2. Before the decree bringeth forth, before the day pass as the chaff.
Right. Before the day pass as the chaff. Meaning what? Meaning be fast, be swift. You know what I'm saying? The chaff talking about those grains flying in the wind, not the grains themselves, right? But the chaff is like a part of the grain flying in the wind, right? Is be quick about it. The Lord is telling you not to sit on your laurels, but to be fast about gathering together. This is why we got to gather together, man.
Right.
This class today, man, is about the fact that integration, man. This is a result of integration.
Right.
You wanted to join the oppressor, right? You wanted to join the other nations, man. So goddamn bad. You wanted to join the other nations so bad, but guess what? They don't want to join you, black man,
Right.
Hispanic man, Native Indian man. You can sing and dance all you want. It don't matter how good you play an effing tambourine. It doesn't matter how good you dribble a ball. It doesn't matter how fast you run. It doesn't matter how well you sing. It don't even matter how good you do in school, man. You can go to college, man. You can get educated, all of that. You can get degrees on top of degrees. You can get a degree within a degree. It won't matter. They hate you. They hate your stinking black guts. They hate your stinking Mexican guts and your stinking Indian guts. That's what it is, man. That's what it always will be and has been. You understand? Read on.
Before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon
I
you.
mean, if that wasn't incentive enough. So you going to China and getting called a nigger to people who just learned how to say that word last week wasn't enough. The Lord said before the what?
Before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon
The
you.
Lord said, you better gather together before my anger come upon you. This is the Lord's anger, man. What happened to George Floyd and what happened to us in the streets of America, Trayvon Martin, that's the Lord's anger, man.
Right.
Why? Because we don't want to obey what the Lord said. We want to do what we want to do. We want to love the oppressor. When that ain't in the Bible.
Right.
It's not in the Bible to join the oppressor and love him. It's not in there. Straight up. You know what I'm saying?
Kind.
Read on.
Kind out of one kind. Before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you. Verse 3. Seek ye the Lord.
You could drop that. Drop that. Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8, man. Let me tell you something. This is the Brotherhood class, man. And there is no more egregious, just plain deceptive, disgusting thing that has destroyed brotherhood but amongst black people more than integration, which is a product of that filthy, nasty Christian church, man. That place is I mean, I'm telling you, in terms of black people being destroyed in America, the Christian church is like, you know, the factory. It is the assembly line of the destruction of black people. You understand? As my Ottawa said, everybody want to talk about, you know what I'm saying? Now they talking about, oh, black on black crime and black this and blackity black everything and buy black and love black and black murder and stop the violence and all of this. But how in the hell can we say stop the violence, but we keep loving the oppressor?
Right.
We keep loving these other nations.
Right.
How can we say stop the violence when all of your fake, disgusting leaders are pushing on you that you should love these people?
That's right.
The same people that's telling you about Black Lives Matter are the same people that tell you stop the Asian hate. Who the hell is hating Asians?
Right.
Am I missing something, Sadak? Where was I?
You and me both, sir.
Because I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't get the memo. Nobody sent me the email for the rally to go yell obscenities at Asians. I wasn't there. Go ahead, Sadak.
And Salakia, if I may, if I'm correct, I could have sworn now everything that we saw about Asians and black folk, it was Asians beating up women because of they
damn right
in their stores. I didn't see
right.
I didn't see it being the other way around.
John, damn right. I remember specifically Latasha Harlins.
Right.
I remember that one. I remember that, you know, I don't remember it. I was really young, but I heard of it. You know what I'm saying? And read about it. I remember Latasha Harlins, what was she, 13? 13 to 14 years old?
Something like that.
and walked into a liquor store in California to get a drink, and the lady went crazy and accused her of stealing, and she wasn't. Witnesses said that Latasha Harlins had money in her hand. Witnesses that were in the store and saw this said she had money in her hand. She put the drink down. She didn't try to walk out of the store with the drink. She put the drink down and proceeded to walk out and got her effing brains blown out. That's what happened. That was in the early 90s. That was a precursor to the riots.
But the Asian hate bill, though.
But the Asian hate bill. Oh yeah, and the Asian woman who blew her brains out, didn't do any jail time. None. Not a day. Not one. She got like probation.
Whole nation not desired.
Imagine that. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine finding out that someone blew your child's brains out in a store after accusing them of something they were not doing? And even if they were doing it, it's not a violent crime. It was literally like a drink that cost like $1. That's literally what it was. And imagine somebody blowing your child's brains out as she was walking out of the store. And they do no jail time. You understand? That's being a nation that's not desired.
Right.
But this is the product. We wanted integration. We wanted to join everybody. Now there's a liquor store in your neighborhood where you got to be careful or you're getting your brains blown out. Yes, Doc.
What was the skit in Don't Be a Menace? Hurry up and buy.
That skit comes from that situation. That skit was related to, so even because that skit also was related to obviously the movie Menace to Society, right? Because remember at that time there was a lot of movies kind of playing on that. In Menace to Society they did it. There's another movie you can watch called Strapped that's based in New York where something similar happens. There's a Chinese man in the store or whatever. They flipped it and had him shoot the little girl, but nonetheless, that they was doing that a lot in the movies in the 90s because of that situation. That was a very, very, look up her name, Latasha Harlins, man. But again, we wanted integration, right? That's what we wanted. You got that scripture, brother?
Sir.
Go ahead and read that, man. Because what we got to understand, man, is that none of these things are by accident.
Salakia, sir. I do have the Latasha Harlan right here if you want me to read that.
Yeah,
sir.
read a little bit of that.
Kind of the one, sir. Latasha Harlan was an African-American girl who was fatally shot at age 15 by Soon John Doe, a 51-year-old Korean-American convenience store owner. Doe was tired and Salakia. Doe was tried, Salakia, and convicted of voluntary manslaughter in Harris's death based on part of the security camera footage.
Wow.
Salakia. Convenience store. Manslaughter based on the security. The judge sentenced Doe to 10 years in state prison, but the sentence was suspended and the defendant was instead placed on 5 years probation with 400 hours of community service, a $500 restitution, and funeral expenses. The sentencing was widely regarded as an extremely light sentence and a failed appeal.
Did you hear that? Read that again, Sadat.
Which part, sir?
The whole thing about what soon, whatever.
Kind of one kind. The judge sentenced Doe to a 10-year in state prison.
So she got sentenced to 10 years.
Kind, sir. But the sentence was suspended.
Was what?
Suspended. And the defendant was instead placed on 5 years probation.
Probation. 5 years probation.
Kind.
You can get more years of probation for a drug charge than that. Go ahead.
With 400 hours of community service,
400 hours of community service. Go ahead.
a $500 restitution.
A what?
$500 restitution.
$500. Go ahead.
And funeral expenses. The sentencing was widely regarded as an extremely light sentence and a failed appeal, contributed to the 1992 Los Angeles riots, especially the targeting of Koreatown, Los Angeles. Harlan's death came 13 days after the videotape beating of Rodney King.
Right. Now, look at that. 15 years old.
Oh, wow. Salakia.
Yeah.
She was from Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
In California.
Mm-hmm. The nation not desired, man.
Sir.
No matter where you go, who listen, it's as simple as that. It's as simple as the fact that you're not going to be accepted. They'll set up shop in your neighborhood to sell you whatever the hell, but they don't give. You know what I'm saying? They're not your friend.
They want your money, but they don't want you.
Yeah, they want your money, but they don't want you. Give me 1 Peter 5:8.
This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant.
Right, because understand this, man, that before we integrated, you know what black people did? Before we integrated, black people was really heavy on brotherhood, man. Our communities, yeah, we had our issues, but it was all about what? It was all about black power. Listen to the music from back then. You know what I'm saying? I'm black and I'm proud. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You put your Tommy Smith and John Carlos at the 68 Olympics. You understand? Everything we did, we made music about the man. You know what I mean? Like the man is killing us. The man got his foot on our neck. We got to come together. You know what I mean? We got to join together.
Fight the power.
Fight the power. There you go, Sadat. Fight the power. That was the music we had back then, right? Because we were forced into a situation. Was it always perfect? No, absolutely not. But what was the solution when we had those problems?
Come together.
To come together. To come together. When slavery ended, you understand? And we were faced with all kinds of obstacles, we had to figure it out. We had to figure out how to do what? We had to figure out now they didn't want us to go to white hospitals. Now they wanted to, you know what I'm saying? That we couldn't do this with where oppressors did this and that. We couldn't eat at the same places. So what we had to do? What do you do when you're not allowed to eat at where the oppressors eat? Now you're not a slave no more. You're free. You walking around and you want to go into the restaurant and have something to eat, and they say, no, we don't serve your kind.
Right.
What's the solution?
Salakia.
Yes, Doc.
You had to go get your own restaurant.
You had to do what?
Go get your own restaurant.
You had to go make your own restaurant, and your restaurant was better. God damn it.
That's right.
It was better. Period. You had to go make your own restaurant. What happened when you couldn't go to the same park? You had to make your own park.
Right.
Hospital had to make your own.
School
had to make your own. Guess what? Even, you know what's funny? It's funny to think about, but we laugh about it. But you do realize that in India, they don't give a damn about what's going on in Hollywood. They don't really care. Like, yeah, they watch those movies. Don't get it twisted. Sure, they watch those movies. Those are not the most popular films in India. Brad Pitt, they don't. That's cool and all, but the biggest movie star in India is some cat named Rajrani Nair, Chopra or something. That's the biggest movie. You go to India and you see a billboard, you're not gonna see Leonardo DiCaprio and you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna see Chris Evans or Robert Downey Jr. on a billboard, you're going to see some Indian cat you never saw in your life on the billboard like this. And it's going to be like, that is the big, I can't believe that's the biggest movie star in India. They got Bollywood. They don't give a damn about Hollywood.
Salakia.
Yes,
but to go back to the point, let's scale it up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
We had our own towns. We had our own cities as well.
Right.
We had banded together.
That's what
We
I'm
had
saying.
our own.
That's what I'm saying. We would have ended up being like an India, but not my friend, but your friend, your good friend, Orgy Mike. Instead of us having our own film culture,
Bus company,
our own bus company, our own music companies, our own everything. Orgy Mike was like, well, we had an all-black high school that I didn't want to go to. We had an all-black YMCA, but I wanted to play basketball with the other people. We had a bunch of restaurants, but it was only black people, and I wanted to sit at the nice white restaurants downtown. And we had one movie theater that was all black, but the movies ended up, they came in, just a little bit late. We had to wait a couple of months for the movies. Man, F them goddamn movies.
That's right.
Make your own movies.
Right.
Then they would be there the first day. How could you ever think about that? So, like, he didn't come to that conclusion. You just had to integrate with the oppressor. Yes,
I take it because they already had it and it was easier, to just go to theirs. Why should we build our own?
Oh, that sounds real familiar, Sadat. Give me, if you can find me flesh pots in the Bible.
Oh, you got
it. You got one?
I have on my phone.
You can
have. Well, it's a lot. Yeah,
just Google it. Yeah, flesh pots. That sounds real familiar because that's the same thing we say when we came out of Egypt, right? Again, there go that Bible coming full circle again. Here we go again.
Salakia, Exodus 16:3. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 16 and verse 3. And the children of Israel said unto...
And the who?
And the children of Israel now, said...
You tell me that the children of Israel, is them people over there in Israel right now.
Right.
That's what they say out there. They say that the children of Israel is them people. Well, I disagree, and the Bible disagrees. Let's prove it. Read on.
And the children of Israel said unto them, would to God we had died, Salakia, we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt when we sat by the flesh pots.
Like they're saying, basically, what are they saying, basically? Finish the scripture. It'll explain it. Go ahead.
Kind of one kind, sir. When we sat by the flesh pots, and when we did eat bread to the full, for ye had brought us forth unto this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger.
In other words, they saying what? They saying, well, wait a minute.
It was easier where we was at.
Exactly. We had we would have survived there.
We could have ate the pork.
We could have ate the pork and the bread. It would have been just fine. You understand? We was you taking us out here. So I'm saying you saving us. We about to die. We about to die out here. You understand any more than that?
That's the end of that verse.
You understand? We wanted to go back to the flesh pots because it was like, so that was where it was easier.
You want me to go to the next verse, sir?
Let's just say the next one. Read a little bit of it.
Come, verse 4. Then said the Lord unto Moses, behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you.
Now, you could drop that, man. That's going into the manna and all of that, right? But that's the same thing. We wanted a piece of what they got. Take us back to captivity because you know why? Being a free man is difficult. Being a free man is hard. You understand? That's why so many people, and again, this is not an indictment on anybody that has a job. I'm not saying you shouldn't have a job. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just giving an example. A lot of people, right, when you think about the acumen or the idea of, say, starting a business or something like that, it's intimidating. Why? Because when you start a business, now you have all of the what? Liability. Now you have all of the liability. Now you got to kind of figure out things. Whereas when you have a job, even your taxes, right? When you have a business, they send you that 1099. They send you that 1099 tax form, and you're looking at like, what in the hell is this? I don't know what I'm doing. Ooh wee, right? But a lot of times you work a job, they take care of your taxes for you, deal with that or whatever. But being a free man, it takes a lot of work. You understand? And a lot of times our people are just not prepared for it. We don't want that. We want to be what? We want to be in captivity because it's easier. And that's what happened with Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King didn't want to go to the damn movie theater and have to watch the movie a couple months afterwards. Like, who gives a F about that damn movie, brother? Who cares? Who? I don't give a damn about seeing Gone. This is the 60s. No, matter of fact, this is when Martin Luther King was like a teenager. So this is the 50s. What the hell do I care about seeing Gone with the Wind 2 months later? Who cares? Cat on a hot tin roof. Who gives an F? Go ahead, Sadak.
Seeing John Wayne movies,
right?
And what's his name? Clint Eastwood movies,
right? John Wayne. Seeing a goddamn John Wayne film 3 months later. Who cares? Who cares? We could have just did what? We could have did like China or like India. India, they don't have Hollywood. They have Bollywood. Chinese got what they got. The Japanese got. We could have just been like, you know what? This is the solution. You know what? We getting these movies real late. We don't have enough stuff to play in the movie theater. I got it. Let's make our own movies. Let's write our own films. I mean, we know how to write. We went to school. We got stories to tell. All we got to do is get the equipment. We got money. Why? Because we have our own hospitals. We have our own libraries and our own this. So we got money. Let's just get some cameras and let's work on it. Make our own movies. And next thing you know, we got our own what? Our own production company. Our own movie lot. Now we got our own Hollywood. And guess what? Who knows? Like Tulsa, Oklahoma, what they do with Tulsa, Oklahoma? They burned it down. Well, guess what? We'll just do it again until they burn it down again. But no, not Orgy Mike, Sadak. Orgy Mike had a bright idea. His bright idea was what?
Leading us into the burning building.
Leading us into a burning building, all because of his goddamn hot rod. Pause. Because he couldn't. Because he just could not. He couldn't go his whole life without getting some white tail. He couldn't do it. He said, "What in the thing? What you saw that? What he say in the? We broke it down. Officer Yarmock brought it out. I couldn't believe my eyes. I've never seen it before. Is an article that talks about the FBI recordings, right? And I had heard all about the orgies. I had heard all about the nasty sexual deviancy. But I did not know that they got audio of this man screaming at the top of his lungs while he is knee deep
me a nigga.
in some white tail talking about, I'm not a nigga tonight. That's what he said. He also said, I'm what? I'm effing for God. He said that. Like, that's your man's. That's your man's. He said he was effing for God. And now, because he could not control himself, we dying at record numbers. Right. In every major city and small town all throughout America. Let me see if I can find this thing.
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead, Sadat.
We dying in every major city. We're not thriving in our own self-built cities.
Mm-hmm.
We're aborting children at a higher rate than everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
It is just all downhill because we didn't, or he didn't, put it out there for us to sit there and separate,
Right.
and go ahead and do our own thing.
Right.
Because had we separated
Mm-hmm.
and did our own thing, Bollywood, Hollywood, niggerwood, whatever you want to call it,
Right.
Because
there was like you said, there was a time when that was our reality.
Mm-hmm.
We always had issues. We always had problems. Every city does. You think there's no
Mm-hmm.
crime in India? Of course there is.
Mm-hmm.
There's crime in white America. There's crime in Australia. There's crime in every place on the goddamn earth. That's just what that is. You can't escape that, right? But when your back is against the wall and we're being oppressed and we realize that we're what, according to the Bible, that we are that nation not desired. Now, guess what? I'm not going to kill my brother because that's stupid. Because if I kill my brother, that's only making it harder for me.
Who's
and my
gonna have
family.
my back?
Right? Who will have my back? If I'm too busy killing my people, who's gonna defend us? I can't do both. I can't want my community to thrive and kill another black man.
Right.
Because the black man makes up my community. But now that's not the case. And I found it right here. Check this out. 2021 ends. This is from Chicago, man. 2021 ends as Chicago's deadliest year in a quarter century.
Specifically, what again is a quarter century? How long ago is that, sir?
25 years. The year of 2021 ended as one of the most violent on record in Chicago, as a rise in the number of shootings left more people dead than in any single year in a quarter century.
Salakia, sir. So when they were calling it Chirac so many years ago,
that's what I'm getting to.
It's worse than it was when they called it Chirac.
Exactly. Chirac became a thing, what, late 2000s, early 2010s, 2011, 12.
Something like that.
Right? Around Chief Keef, Dirk, and all of them came out. That's when it really was like the spotlight was on Chicago at that time. Right? And everybody was calling it Chirac. They were leading in homicides. Well, here we go. According to the department, 2021 ended with 797 homicides. That is 25 more than were recorded in 2020, 299 more than in 2019, and the most since 1996. And there were 3,561 shooting incidents in 2021. You want to know why you shooting each other up in these cities, man? It's not why you think. Black men are shooting each other in these cities because of Martin Luther King, because of integration, because of the Christian church, which is a product of integration. It's all about what? It's all about loving everybody else, but who? But your people. It's all about being friendly and hugs and kisses and rainbows and Skittles with everybody except your people. You understand? You got give me Micah chapter no, it's not, give me 1 Peter 5 and 8 first. You can drop what you got. Give me 1 Peter 5 and 8.
That's where we were still at, sir.
Kanye, read that from the top.
This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant.
Be what?
Be vigilant.
We're supposed to be vigilant, man. We're supposed to be sober and vigilant. Meaning what? We're supposed to have a clear mind and have some goddamn, you know what I'm saying, some fervor, man.
Right.
That's what he's supposed to have. We're supposed to be vigilant. But we were taught by the Christian church to not be vigilant, to be soft and accepting and loving and caring and everybody just together and just loving on everybody. That's what we were taught to be. They took the vigilance out of us.
Right.
There was a time when we were vigilant. Again, like we said before, there was a time when a black man, all he did was talk about black power. Black power. Fight the power. You know what I'm saying? About going against the man. All the black, look at the black movies, man. Look at the black movies in the 70s. Who ever seen those movies? Who ever seen those black exploitation films in the 70s? Movies like Three the Hard Way. Those movies were all about what? Fighting against the man.
Right.
Fighting the power. About us joining together to go against the powers that be that were oppressing us. That's what those movies were about.
Right.
Where's that at now? Now a black movie is basically an LGBTQ movie.
And that's exactly what I was gonna say. We in a dress.
We in a dress. They just won. What was that movie? Moonlight. They just won an Academy Award. That was like what, 5 years ago? 4 years ago, something like that. It's a bunch of black actors and it's gay.
Right. So let's
Guess it up.
Salakia, sir. Let's step back even more. Vin Rames in the movie that he played.
Holiday Heart.
Khan, sir.
I mean, there you going back on that one. But
Let's do another one when Wesley was Wesley Snipes in that
Wesley
one
Snipes
too?
was a damn you know what I mean. In the there's a movie called Tuong Fu.
Yep, there's that one. How about I can't think of his name. Joanna Man.
His name is Miguel Nunez.
Yeah.
He was Joanna Man in the damn movie.
Here, let's bring it a little bit more forward. Let's do Martin.
Martin played like 3 different females on Martin. Shanae and his moms.
But then he had
Big Mama's House.
That's what I was saying. He had a whole movie and he was running around as a woman.
Right.
And then there was Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx was Wanda on Living Color.
Yep. And I'm missing one right. John Leguizamo.
He was also in Tuong Fu. Thanks for everything. Yep. John Leguizamo.
All our culture at the end of the day is getting demasculated.
Right, but you know what the crazy part about that is to show you is that comes from what? Joining the oppressor. Not having brotherhood. Why? Because guess what? You know who else was in a dress in that movie? Patrick Swayze. Because to people, and this is something that it's funny you bring it up because people always say, they want to put a black man in a dress, which is true. But white actors are always in dresses too. Always. Right? Go look at old movies. Tony Curtis was in a dress. You know what I mean? I think Dustin Hoffman was. The reason that's because to them, that is hilarious. European culture, their oppressors, they think that a man in a dress is the funniest thing in the world. That's why brothers do it. Brothers don't do it just to do it. It's because to make them laugh, you put on a dress and they laugh at it. Yes,
Lucky, if I may, that was one of the things that Dave Chappelle had distanced himself from because they wanted him to do a skit and do something in a dress, and he refused to do it.
Right, which is funny because he actually was in a dress in one movie, but I understand what you're saying.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was in a dress in a movie called Robin Hood Men in Tights. Go look it up.
I remember Robin Hood Men in Tights.
There's a part in that movie where he's wearing a dress. They're all wearing dresses. They think they had to like disguise themselves, and they're all wearing dresses, right?
I remember that part.
So
he was in that movie.
He damn sure was in a dress. But again, at least the brother said something about it, right? You know what I mean? So I understand. But that comes from joining your oppressor. You end up doing what he wants you to do and what he thinks is good instead of doing what? Read my mind. Guess it up.
What the Lord thinks is
damn right. Damn right. Brotherhood is destroyed in the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community because we made the oppressor our daddy.
Right.
Because we want to do what he likes. What does he like? Let's read the scripture. My bad, bro. Let's read the scripture. We're going to get into it. That's exactly what we're talking about.
This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary.
Because you're what?
Your adversary.
What's another word for adversary? Guess it up.
Can we say your oppressor?
That's not another word for adversary. The adversary is the oppressor, but give me another word for adversary. So now I'm kind of telling you. Another word for adversary is a what?
Salakia, sir, an enemy?
Damn right. Right? So the adversary is your enemy. Okay, read on.
Because your adversary,
Because
the devil,
your enemy, the what?
the devil,
The what?
the devil,
The what?
the devil,
Who is what? Who is the devil?
the oppressor.
The oppressor. So if the adversary is the devil, then and the devil is the oppressor is what? The adversary is the devil,
Mm-hmm.
and the devil is the oppressor.
Mm-hmm.
And what's another word for adversary?
Enemy.
Enemy. So your enemy is
The your enemy.
your enemy is
The adversary.
right, but your enemy. Remember, so right here you got adversary. But the
Adversary.
scripture says what? The adversary,
The devil.
The devil
Devil
is the
the
oppressor.
oppressor.
Another word for adversary is enemy.
Mm-hmm.
So the oppressor
your enemy.
is what?
The oppressor is your
The
enemy.
oppressor is your enemy. Damn right. The oppressor is your enemy. That's in the Bible. Go ahead.
Count out of one kind, sir. Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion.
Right, because the devil does not mean a red man with a pitchfork under the ground in the pits of some cave
Mm-hmm.
with fire just blazing up out of the ground, and he's down there doing, I don't know what the hell he's doing. According to South Park, I guess he's having sex with Saddam Hussein. That's what. That's what. In South Park, that's what the devil does, right? That's not the devil. Okay, it's not what the devil does. The devil is the oppressor. He's the enemy. And what does the word devil mean?
Enemy.
Mm-mm.
No, the deceiver. Salakia.
Deceiver. The word devil means deceiver. So when we say the oppressor is the devil, that's accurate. It doesn't, because it doesn't mean he's red with a pitchfork and fire and flames.
Mm-hmm.
It means he is what? He is
Liar.
the deceiver. He's a god. He is the liar. Right? People lie. I mean, I can lie.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can lie.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a race of people on the planet Earth who have built empires on top of empires on top of empires by way of lies. And they maintain power by what? By lies. And they oppress people with what? With lies. You understand? At this point, America hasn't dropped a bomb on anybody in what, 80 years? They don't need to. No, that's not true. They dropped a bomb after 9/11. So they still dropping bombs. Don't get it twisted. They dropping bombs, right? But they oppress people. So what? Yeah, not at that magnitude, but they oppress people with what? With lies, man. Mm-hmm. Now you go to Japan, and in Japan they got some LGBTQ over there now. They got some LGBTQ in Africa right now. Right? They pushing that all over the planet Earth. That's how they oppress you. They oppress you with lies. They are the devil the Bible speaks of. Right. Read on.
Count out of one kind, sir. As a roaring lion.
As a what?
Roaring lion.
As a roaring lion. Go ahead.
Walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
He may devour. That's what they are. The devil is walking around like a roaring lion, trying to figure out, who can I kill? Who can I destroy? Right? And how have they destroyed blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? Guess it up.
By lies.
With lies. They've destroyed blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians with lies. And one of those big lies is what? We should all join together. Kumbaya.
Good night.
That's one of them lies, man.
Stick to being a priest, sir.
What you mean, bro? Yo, don't play me, bro. I'm telling you, in the world, bro, I was like that, but we gotta go there. That's how they oppress blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. They oppress us And they destroy us and devour us by saying, God's laws are done away with. All you have to do is open up your heart and accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior. Amen. Hallelujah. And now you think, well, that's all I got to do. That's all I got to do is accept Jesus as my Lord and Savior. It doesn't matter if I shot Pookie in the head last week or next week. It doesn't matter how many whores I'm going to have sex with. It doesn't matter how many men I have sex with. It doesn't matter what I do. This weed, this cocaine, or what about these drugs I'm going to sell to my community? It's all good because all I got to do is what? Just open my heart and accept Jesus. That's it. Nothing else. No more, no less. You understand? And where does that come from? Again, so we talking about the murders and the death and the drugs and the prostitution and all the horrible things taking place all throughout the earth to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And what does it come back to? It comes back to the fact that we wanted to integrate with this devil. Read on.
Con out of one con, sir. Verse 9. Whom rest steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world.
Right. Drop that. You understand? Give me Micah chapter 3 and verse 1. Micah 3 and 1. Peace, and this is the thing. We complain and cry about peace and why can't we get along and love everybody and join hands? You know what I mean? And why black people gotta go through so much, Sadat? Why? Why we God don't love us? Why we in the ghettos, man? Why we dying in the streets?
Because we decided to join the oppressor.
There we go. That's a simple answer for a priest. Because we decided to join our oppressor. But in the world, we keep asking this question of why is this happening to us? Why are we dying like this? Why are we destroyed like this? I just don't understand. I just don't understand why we gotta live like this. But there's a simple concept that we don't understand because we haven't been taught by the Christian church. And this concept is that peace is not free. Peace is not free. Comfort is not free. It's just not. The Christian church can peddle all of the nonsense they want all day long about how easy it is to attain God's favor. And all you got to do is pray and love. And that don't work for black people. Why? Because we're God's chosen people. The oppressor can do what the hell he wants to do. But when you God's chosen people, we're about to read it in a second. You can't just do what you want to do. No. The Lord is not going to bestow peace upon you and give you comfort when you don't do what he says. Right. When you want to do what you want to do. Ain't nowhere. Sadat, give me the scripture where it says to join, to integrate with the oppressor. Give me that one.
Salakia, sir.
What you mean, Salakia?
There's no integrate with the oppressor.
No. Give me the one where it says, we can't just join with black people. All races got to come together. That's the one I want.
So Salakia, sir. That's not. We don't have that Bible.
So you telling me that there's not a scripture in the Bible that says that all races on earth should be one?
Lie, sir.
Okay. Well, damn. Then why is it that when you go into Christian church, that's what they tell us we should do?
Salakia, sir. Because the white man or the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
There we go. Simple as that. Give me Micah 3 and 1.
Con out of one con. This is the book of Micah chapter 3 and verse 1. And I said, hear, I pray you, O heads of Jacob.
Right. Oh, who?
O heads of Jacob.
What does that mean?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
Was he talking about the 12 tribes, sir?
Definitely talking about the 12 tribes, but who within the 12 tribes?
Who?
What position do these people have? Oh, what of Jacob? Oh, heads of Jacob.
The priest of the head of each tribe.
Right, the leaders.
Kind.
The leaders of the nation of Israel. Go ahead.
Kind out of one kind. O heads of Jacob, and ye princes of the house of Israel.
Right, talking about the leaders. Go ahead.
Is it not for you to know knowledge?
Is it what?
Is it not for you to know knowledge?
Let's not read it again.
Is it not for you to know judgment, Salakia, sir?
God. Is it not for you to know judgment?
Judgment.
Is it not for you to know judgment? Meaning what? Meaning, are you not supposed to get judged when you do wrong? Is it not for you to feel the punishment when you sin against the Most High?
Right.
You understand? Again, we crying about all the horrible things that happen to us, but we keep wanting to love the oppressor. We just won't stop doing it. We won't stop following after false leaders. We won't stop doing what MLK said instead of what God said.
Right.
We won't stop doing what America says instead of what God says. Did God say that that two men can get married?
Lie, sir.
Did God say that two women? Now the brat and her, I don't even know what to call her. You can't say her baby mama because they damn sure ain't got no. Yeah, her and her woman thing partner are expecting a child.
Poor child.
Is that in the Bible?
Lie, sir.
In fact, the Bible says what?
It speaks against it.
It speaks against it. The Bible says, and I'm paraphrasing, train up a child in the way that he should go, and he shall not depart. Well, the way that he should go is what? Is to not be LGBTQ. So how are you going to train a child to not be what you are? Yes,
Salakia, you can't. He's confused at that point, or it, whether it be girl or boy,
right,
will be growing up in confusion.
They're going to be confused, period. 50 Cent said it in the song. Coming up, I was confused. My mama kissing the girl. That's what he said. And nobody got mad at him. But when the ISUPK said that's confusion, you mad at us.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the Bible. A child that comes up seeing that is going to be confused. Right. That's not normal. And it goes against the Bible. You understand? Read on.
Kind out of one kind, sir. Verse 2. Who hate the good.
Who do what?
Hate the good.
What does it mean to hate the good? Yes, Doc.
Would that be to hate like the law, statutes, and commandments and go against them?
Damn right. That's absolutely what it means. You got a precept you can go to show me what is good. How we can define what is good. How can we define what is good? How we know what is good?
Salakia.
Matthew 19 and 17.
The book of Matthew, chapter 19 and verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto him, why callest thou me good?
So this is who's speaking. Who's speaking here?
This is Yahweh Shai.
This is Christ, right? Christ is saying, why thou callest me what?
Why thou callest me good?
Right? Because somebody, one of the Israelites came up to him and said, he called him what? Good master.
Good master. Kind of one.
Called him good master. And Christ responded, well, why you calling me good? Right? Give me again. What's like in today's terms, who says this today? Who says this today? This is literally something in the Bible that is a direct correlation to now. Who says this?
Salakia.
No sweat. Anybody online? Who says this? A lot of people say it. They say something similar to this. Don't think of the same words exactly, but the spirit of it.
Salakia, sir. You wouldn't be talking about Captain Katazai and Captain Katazai saying that he ain't Shit, because he's just a follower.
Everybody says that in the UPK.
That's
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
concept.
Every brother in the ISUPK, you give him some. I'm surprised you couldn't get a Sadak, because I mean, how many times does a brother got to tell you, damn brother, them headpieces is crazy. Damn brother, them scrolls is crazy. And you say, that's the Lord, man.
I mean,
that's the Lord. The Lord, you know what I mean? The Lord did it. The Lord did this. That's what all these brothers say. And that's what Christ was saying. Everything we do in the ISUPK comes from Christ. So if somebody said, good master, he said, well, you don't know. I ain't good. Okay. All the miracles you see me do and walking on, no, that's the Lord. Read on.
kind of the one kind. But the same verse, sir?
Yep.
Kind. And he said unto him, why thou callest me good?
Mm-hmm.
There is none good.
There
but
is what?
There is none good.
There is none good. No one is good. No one is Tawab. No one is none of that. Go ahead.
But one.
But who?
But one.
But one. There's only one. Go ahead.
That is God.
That is the Most High. The Most High gets the praise. It's the Most High. I didn't do nothing. I didn't do anything. I am nothing. I'm not good. I ain't, like the brother said, I ain't ish. It's the Most High. The Most High. Now, of course, we know that the brother did this. We know that Commander General Yohana built the school back up. We know that these brothers, Captain Cesariak, and all the captains and the generals and the high-ranking officers and the young officers and some of the troopers too, we know these brothers do great work. And they get praised for their work. But who is behind it all? The Most High.
Right.
The Most High is good. Read on.
Kind of the one kind. But if thou wilt enter into life.
Now we get into the meat and potatoes of the situation, right? Because back in Micah, it said those who hate the good.
Mm-hmm.
And Christ said, don't call me good. Only one is good, but the Most High. But
Mm-hmm.
what?
But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments.
Keep the commandments. You understand? That's what you got to do if you want to enter into life. That's what's good, because that's what? That's God's commandments.
Right.
You understand? Go back to Micah 3.
Kind of the one kind.
Read it again. You
I
can
think
start
I
at
was
verse 2.
Yeah, I was at 2. Kind of
Mhm.
one kind. This is the book of Micah, chapter 3 and verse 2. Who hate the good and love the evil.
I mean, who hates the good and loves the evil, man? We talking about integration. We talking about us living in America, man. Who hates the good and loves the evil? Go ahead, sit down.
The oppressor.
We're talking about our people.
Salakia.
But you're right. You're not wrong, because that's the point, right?
Concept.
The oppressor. So I'll take that, because you're right. Because the oppressor loves the good. So it's like he hates the good and loves the evil. So now bring it back to Israel.
Mm-hmm.
The oppressor hates the good and loves the evil.
Mm-hmm.
Where does that put us?
We love the evil and hate the good.
We love the evil and hate the good just like him, because we want to be just like him. You know that black people didn't praise drug dealers in their communities until integration, right? You know that, right? You know that it was. I read all the time. I'm currently reading the not autobiography, but the biography of Al Capone. It's one of the books I'm reading, right? The oppressor's been praising gangsters and murderers for hundreds of years, for centuries.
Since they came over here.
Right, forever. Forever. You understand? Al Capone is an American icon.
Mm-hmm.
He was a career criminal. Like, his whole life. I mean, Al Capone was in a gang. Now, you think that being in the gang is some black thing, right?
Nah.
Right? Being in the gang, BDs, GDs, Vice Lords, right? Bloods, Crips. It's a black thing, right? Little young kids joining gangs. Al Capone was in the gang when he was like 11. Yes, Doc.
Salakia, if I may, and the gangs that they were in were the gangs of their nations. They were Sicilian gangs, they were Italian gangs, they were a gang of individuals that were all of the same creed.
In fact, their gangs were usually like a junior sect of an adult gang. So there would be a gang of adults, and when the kids came to be a certain age, they would like join like the junior, like being on JV. Like the junior league of the gang, and then when they got a certain age, they would what? They would then join the adult gang,
or Salakia, or be made,
if that's that came later, but yeah, being made into the mafia, right? But that's their culture. They was doing that. Why again? Always talking about it. Billy the Kid, Jesse James, they were folk heroes while they were robbing trains. And terrorizing the Midwest and the West Coast. You know what I mean? They were folk heroes. That's their culture that we adopted from them. Black people, we didn't. My dad told me, I'll never forget this. My pops told me, he remembers when he was young, right? When somebody would go to jail, when a brother would go to jail, they would never say it. If they went to jail and they came back, it was never a badge of honor back in the day. Nowadays, you go to jail and come back. Everybody probably he just came home. Everybody talk about it. But back in the day, if you went to jail up north, if you went to jail and came home, and they'd be like, "Oh, where you been?" I was down south for a while. Yeah, I was just down south. You know what I'm saying, with some family. No one ever wanted to say that they were in jail because it was a shame. It wasn't something cool. It wasn't something nice and awesome, and everybody, he just came home from jail. He's a real that's not how it was. That's something we got from the oppressor. Go ahead, Sadat.
It nowadays is like you getting stripes if you go to jail and you come out and whatnot, and it's praised and whatnot.
Exactly.
And when they first started going to jail, they didn't want to know about it, and then when they came home, it wasn't something that they talked about either. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't nothing that they wanted to remember.
Exactly. It wasn't nothing that they wanted to remember. That's a great point. And also, there wasn't nothing that they wanted to what?
Relive.
But something they didn't want to. I'm looking for a word.
I
think you kind of got it.
Yeah.
Something they didn't want to
glorify.
That's give them a hand.
That's the word.
It wasn't something they wanted to glorify. Because back in the day, again, go watch the old movies. In the old movies, you might have a pimp. You might have a drug dealer. You might have somebody in a criminal enterprise. And what would they always say to the kids? Remember, if you go watch the movie The Mac, you know what I'm saying? Max Julian, May He Rise Again, he just died. Go watch the movie The Mac. And there's a part in the movie, he's a pimp, right? He was in jail. He's a pimp. He come back and he making money doing this thing. And a bunch of the kids from the neighborhood run up to the car. They run up and say, "Hey, Goldie, Goldie, give us $1." And Goldie said, "I'm gonna give y'all some bread, man. Here you go." What he would say, you went to school? You doing good? All right, here you go. And at one point, one of the little kids say to him, he lets him get in the car, right, and play with the steering wheel. He said, "You like that, right?" And he say, "What?" He said, I want to be like you, Goldie." He got mad at him. He said, "No." He said, "You could be anything you want to be. You could be a doctor, a lawyer, but I don't ever want to hear you say you're going to be like me," right? Which is sending a horrible, stupid, mixed message. The scripture say, "Let your yay be a yay and your nay be a nay." What in the hell you think the kid is going to want to do? You tell him to be a doctor and a lawyer. Ain't no goddamn doctors or lawyers in his neighborhood, and they damn sure ain't driving no caddies. They see you. They see you in the fly clothes and in the nice car with all the women. So what the hell you think? So that's already just, bonkers. But the point is that they didn't want to send a message that it was good to do what I do. But now, brother, I mean, goddamn, you listen to a rap song, it might as well be saying, "Go find the nearest black man and kill that nigga to show you a real man. And while you do it, sip on the largest cup of lean you can find and pop as many pills as you can without overdosing."
I didn't know he had died, sir. You got all these other people that they publicizing on every other social media site talking about they died. I had no idea he died.
Yeah, see, that's how they do, man.
That's crazy. Well, they talk about all these different comedians that's dying and
Right.
whatnot, but I did not know.
They didn't know Max Jr. Yeah, they don't.
I did not know he was.
They ain't say much about it. He just passed away a couple
on
weeks
the
ago.
first. He passed away. It says died January 1st,
Yeah.
2022.
Yep.
I did not know.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But yeah, that's how it was, man. We didn't praise, you know what I'm saying, criminals. There's nothing noteworthy about being a criminal, right? There was no, you know, Alpos and Rich Porters, you know what I'm saying? Again, not just trying to knock them brothers or any of those people, you know what I'm saying? Because we know that the oppressors, the devil the Bible speaks of.
Right.
And because we scramble and trying to find just a little piece of masculinity, a little piece of the pie, a little piece of something to make a brother feel like a man. You know what I'm saying? That's why we fall into these things. We fall into the gangs. We fall into the killing. We fall into the drug dealing, right? Because on Wall Street, you know what they do on Wall Street? Guess what? On Wall Street, they destroy people's lives too. They sell drugs on Wall Street too. You can buy ETFs in pharmaceutical companies, trade futures and trade stock options in pharmaceutical companies that absolutely kill people. You understand? That's the truth of the matter, right? But of course, that's corporate, so it's a little different. You know what I mean? But we trying to find a way to express our thing and try to be men the best way we know. And we fall into, you know, these devices, right? That are absolutely terrible, you know what I'm saying? But there was a time when we didn't praise those things. That comes from the oppressor, man. Integration has made us lower our standards. It's made us lower our standards for what is a man and what's not a man, and what is a woman and what's not a woman.
Right.
Now your black woman wants to be stronger than you. She think that in order to be a good woman, she got to tell you what you should do. Yes,
Either that or she a bad B.
Either that or either one or the other. No matter how you slice it, she gonna do what she want to do. She gonna go on the internet and twerk. And if you tell her you should get off the internet barely wearing anything, she gonna be like, nigga, how dare you tell me what to wear, what to do, where to go, where not to go. You understand? That's what our sisters believe is being, you know, a good woman. Yeah, brother.
So Lockie, if I may, it's funny you say something about that. So there's a woman on there on TikTok, which is a big thing right now, right? And so she always gets people telling her that she needs to go put on some clothes because she's always in a bra and underwear or something like that. So she was like, all right, I'll do a test. This is me in a bra and underwear. And then she did another video. And then this is me in clothes. Let's see which one gets more likes. Which one got more likes? Her sitting there half naked.
Of course.
So why would she not be half naked when she can sit there and make the money being half naked?
Right.
How can you tell me not to go and make some money? Don't nobody want to see me fully dressed.
Right.
They won't see me naked.
Right. I mean, it's damn right. That's heavy, right? But I mean, of course, in America, there's a shortage, it's lucky amongst blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians of a thing called dignity. None of that. Like dignity. What the hell is that? Right? Shame. What the hell is that? I need money. I need cash. Isn't that what we've been talking about the whole class, right? When you integrate, you start to believe in that capitalist system. You'll do anything for the dollar. Destroy your community, right? Sell your box to everybody that's willing to look. You understand?
OnlyFans.
You got a OnlyFans. And it'd be somebody's mom. That's the crazy part. Like, I mean, just forget about your child's future. Like, forget about the fact that your goddamn video, because you know that all them niggas on that goddamn on that OnlyFans is recording that screen, and they gonna put it in an archive, and it's gonna be all on the internet. It's gonna be on your disgusting Pornhub.com. And now some little kid one day is gonna go to school, and after mom then dropped them off, somebody's gonna be like, "Oh snap,
That's your mom?
That's your mom?" Yeah. All right. And they are going to go and look into them same archives and pull it up and embarrass the heck out of that child. And that child is going to commit suicide.
Salakia.
Yes, to that.
And another place is Twitter now. Twitter is becoming a place where you can go and see live naked women or videos of naked women doing
Yeah, Twitter is I don't have Twitter. From what I understand, they real loose.
Yeah, they like
with
it,
the
it didn't
restrictions
used to be like that. No,
like with YouTube there's restrictions, Facebook there's restrictions, even Instagram has restrictions. But I hear that Twitter is just the Wild West, just box and rods and all of that all over the goddamn thing.
And like it's buck wild. Like you can literally go on there and scroll through that, and you gonna see,
there's somebody just straight in
it, yeah, enjoying themselves,
right?
And
you
they
say
watch
like I don't want to say
themselves.
the pleasure of sleep.
Yeah, well, they ain't sleep. They wide awoke, and they want you to be wide awoke watching them.
Right. Good night. Any more in the scripture?
Concert.
Yeah.
This is the book of Micah, chapter 3 and verse 2. Who hate the good and love the evil, who pluck off their skin from off them,
right? Go ahead.
And their flesh from off their bones.
Man, they destroy people, man. That's what they do. They destroy their own people. Go ahead, read.
Verse 3. Who also eat the flesh of my people.
Right, there you go. That's that metaphor. That's not talking about actual cannibalism.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's talking about them destroying the people. Because again, remember the other scripture we read that talked about what? About devouring people, right? So it's talking about you eating the flesh of my people, man. You destroying my people.
Right.
You supposed to be the leaders, right? You told everybody about how that goddamn dream you had, and you made everybody believe you were going to save their lives. And you marched them all the way from Memphis, all the way from Georgia up to DC with a promise of a better world and a better life. And you know where they are now? Do you know where those people that followed Martin Luther King are right now as we speak, and their descendants or their children and their children's children?
In the worst place
they're in Southeast DC blowing each other's brains out every weekend. You understand? I've heard so many stories. Man, I think my rib told me stories. Somebody she know. Like, I mean, you go to Southeast DC and park your car, and you liable just to have you park your car and go away to 20 minutes and come back, and some nigga is just in your car while you're standing there, just in your car, shuffling through your stuff, and you looking like,
really now?
And he look at you like, yes.
For real?
Yes. And this used to be Chocolate City. You understand? And it was the murder capital of America in the late 80s and the early 90s. It was the murder capital. And now it's getting back.
DC
was the murder capital in the early 90s.
Where the White House is.
Where the White House is. Blocks away from the White House is where this was going down. Go look it up.
Now, I have heard that blocks away from the White House, the hood is right there.
Yes. The hood is blocks away from the White House. Straight up. You understand? Now they're trying to gentrify it. You know what I'm saying? Now they didn't put little stuff on the waterfront. You got the DC yards and all of that. You know what I mean? It's all nice and grass and all of that. But guess what? Them niggas still killing each other. It's you know what I mean? Them brothers out there in DC, Captain Mashak and them, man, they'll tell you about it. It's not a joke. And this is happening all across America. They breaking records for black people killing black people all across America. Why? Because we want to love the oppressor. It seems like they don't go together, but they absolutely go together. You understand? Read that. What were you in verse 2, right? No, read verse 3 from the top.
Kind on one concert. This is the book of Micah, chapter 3 and verse 3. Who also eat the flesh of my people and flay their skin from off them, and they break their bones and chop them in pieces.
Right, all your Christian pastors, this is what they do to the people. Read on.
As for the pot.
As for the pot. As what does that mean?
The melting pot, sir? Is it a metaphor for that whole coming together type of thing?
Think about this. Think about what it's talking about. Think of the imagery. They eat the flesh of my people. They flay their skin from off them. They break their bones, chop them into pieces. As for the pot. Is there any other situation where people cut skin off something,
Yeah, I mean,
break the bones of something,
yeah, when you,
chop it into pieces.
yeah, when you cooking,
When you about to what?
when you cooking
And what are you cooking?
chicken.
What do you cook in?
Oh, a pot.
You cook in a pot. That's what it's saying. It's saying they do this to the people as if they're about to
Cook
cook
them
them.
in a pot. Kind.
As if they're about to eat them. Go ahead.
And as Salakia, as the pot, and as flesh within the collarbone. Cauldron.
Within the
Salakia.
cauldron, which is a pot.
Right.
A cauldron, right? Read verse 4.
Kind of more kind.
And this is what we're talking about. Like we said before, peace is not something you get for free. You can't get peace just because you think you're nice and happy. No. Peace is a gift from the Most High. That's what peace is. Comfort is a gift from the Most High. And you only get that by following what he said. And he never told you to integrate. He never told you to love everybody else. He told you to love each other. We read it at the beginning of the class. He told you to gather together with each other. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, God's chosen people. Read verse 4.
Verse 4. Then shall they cry unto the Lord.
Right, now we're going to cry to the Lord. Go ahead.
But he will not hear them.
He's not going to hear us as long as we what? Loving on the oppressor. As long as we love in the other nation that shoot us in the back of the head in the liquor store and call us nigger when we get off a bus to play a stupid basketball game. He's not going to hear us. Read on.
He will even hide his face from them.
That's what the Lord's doing now.
He will even hide his face from them at that time.
He's doing it right now. He's hiding his face from us. Why? Because we want to do what we want to do. We want to follow after what they say we should do. Oh, you gotta, to be a good father, you know, you should accept your children no matter what. Now Dwayne Wade looking like a 6'4", just a mess. Right, that's what he looked like. That's what he looks like, and that's what he sounds like. It's getting worse every day. Go ahead.
So, Lakia, sir, I said it before and I say it again. It's gonna come out that something was happening to that little boy, and
right.
Dwayne Wade had to been a part of.
And Salakia, brother, Chicago, y'all got to take that L.
What you talking about?
Dwayne Wade's from Chicago. Y'all got to take that L. That's an L for y'all.
I'm from the Virgin Islands, so I'm gonna go with that.
No sweat. Oh wait. Right?
God.
He hiding his face from us because we want to be Dwayne Wade and Zion Wade. Zion. Oh man, that is just horrible.
And what is the boy's name now? He changed it or something, right?
The boy's name was Zion. It's almost. It's like wow. Like his name was Zion.
And now it's Zaya.
Now it's Zaya. And he's gonna be 6'4" too.
And then it is what's sad is I saw a picture of him not too long ago calling themselves like giving tribute to Kobe Bryant in his dress jersey.
How you gonna tribute Kobe? Kobe Bryant never wore no jersey dress.
I guess it was to him and the daughter. So
the daughter never wore a jersey dress.
I don't know what to tell you, sir. It was him. It was their collaboration of him paying tribute to the both of them. It was just you being
filthy and disgusting. And you got to remind the world of how nasty you are. So even when you you're not paying tribute to that man. You don't give a damn about none of that.
Right.
You just want to be like, yeah, here I am again. Yeah, I'm still LGBTQ.
Because in all publicity is good publicity.
All publicity is good publicity. Go ahead, brother. Read on. This is the last one.
As they have behaved themselves ill in their doings.
As they have behaved themselves ill in their doings, man. We're not going to get peace until we get right with the Most High.
That's right.
We are not going to be comfortable until we get right with the Most High.
Right.
And integration has absolutely sidetracked us and destroyed us in that endeavor, man. Let me tell you something. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, if you love your people, if you're tired of the killing and you're tired of the rape and robbery, you tired of all the oppression, you tired of all of the horrible things that Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians have to deal with every single day, there's only one solution, and that is to join the Isupk under command and General Yohana, man, and change your life. Join this fight. You know what I'm saying? This is a fight against oppression, against the powers that be, man. And you can't do that in your Christian church. You can't do that in your Muslim mosque. You can't do that in your synagogue. You can't do that in your Democratic Party. You can't do it in your Republican Party. You can't do it in your Independent Party. You damn sure can't do it being a Buddhist. You can't do it anywhere in your Black Lives Matter. You can't do it anywhere except in the ISUPK and the Command and General Yohana, man. And with that, I pass the class over to Priest and Officer Sadat.
ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi 3, 8 through 10. Means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashera. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest funds, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations. The Feast of Purim, and we'll be holding that February 14th here at the Durham School. And also be on the lookout and get yourselves ready for the Passover, which is April 15th. Correct, sir? Get your Passover funds in, get yourself in order for your rooms and everything else. Remind all Akim and Akwathium to check social media such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that,